Greetings and welcome to another WildStar video here on the Fluffy channel. And we've got some good news. The beta patch notes are online, so if you're in the beta, woohoo!
Yay, we can pretend.
We can pretend we're in the beta, we're not actually participating in the beta. However, we thought we'd take the opportunity to have a look at the patch notes to see what little tidbits and gems we can glean from the world of WildStar.
Oh yeah.
So we've got a list up here. We'll put a link to the actual patch notes in the description of this video. But I mean, the things in the patch notes that sort of caught our attention were to do with things like grouping and PvP, housing, and things like that. So we'll start with the obvious stuff. We've got the beta level cap being raised to 36. So I mean, what was the cap supposed to be? It's going to be 60.
It's 60 in the game.
So they're kind of, if you look at that from the point of view of, you know, gradually raising the level cap throughout the beta to max, then they're over halfway.
Well, are they though?
Well,
because like in WoW, the levels got longer, didn't they? So
shh, it's halfway through the beta. Yay!
How are they doing that? Interesting.
Yes, interesting indeed.
Controversy, because with Guild Wars 2 it was pretty much the same amount, wasn't it? Really? Well, it wasn't the same amount. Obviously,
Guild Wars 2, a level was kind of a generic level that just sort of went, there you go, you've leveled.
Exactly. It didn't feel like you've gone from 30 to 31 compared to 40 to 41 type thing.
Not really. So also rated battlegrounds and arenas have been opened. So that's, you know, just saying that we know that those are in. I mean, it's already been pretty much said, hasn't it? That
it has been said before.
But this is like rated arenas and battlegrounds, so that's new in the latest beta build. So you'll be able to dive in there and get on with that for your PvP rating. And also both factions for World PvP, or just PvP in general, are now available in the beta version of WildStar. So you can go out.
It's available for both. It looks like both factions weren't available previously.
Yeah.
At all.
So they were just testing one side, but now they can go out into the world and gank each other to their heart's content.
Flag yourself for PvP, it says.
Well, that's an interesting question I think that raises. Do we have an answer for this? Is there going to be like PvP worlds where you can...
Oh yeah, no, there's World PvP. Yeah,
but do you have to flag yourself, or is there going to be like, you know, purely PvP servers like in WoW?
I'm guessing there'll be RP, PvP and PvE servers.
Right. So...
a bit like when we were stuck on Dune Mall with the Horde ganking everyone.
Yeah, so you'll be able to have that.
So yeah, you can have that if you want to.
I want to.
Do you? I mean, it always sounds like a very romantic idea, and then when you actually get down to it and you're trying to do some quests and there's someone literally dancing on your corpse waiting for you to res.
Yeah, but that was just part of the experience. I enjoyed it, because then when you were the one doing the ganking...
Yeah, but I was never a dick enough to do that.
Oh, well, I was.
Well, yeah, you were.
But
you were a very bitter individual.
I got ganked quite a lot, so I was just repaying the favour to the Horde.
Fair enough.
Right.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on.
But you can flag yourself. I'm sure, like in WoW, if you /PvP, you can flag yourself.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Give yourself a flagging.
Yeah, flag. Well, it says flag yourself for PvP and go nuts in the open world, is what the patch note says. Anyway, moving on. Vote kicking has been added to group functionality, so that's a thing in WildStar. You can, if you decide someone in your group's a dick, just start.
Which got me thinking, actually.
Did it? Good.
If they've added this to the beta already, how many dicks are in the beta?
Well, maybe
seriously.
Maybe it's just foresight. Maybe it's just knowledge that wherever there's multiplayer online gameplay, there's
vote kicking is required.
Well, We just did a whole video about uninstalling League of Legends.
Oh, that would be a good vote kick game.
Exactly.
I'd quite happily lose with 3 people who were actually decently playing, like, you know.
Anyway, we're talking about WildStar. Moving on.
Yeah.
Group Finder will now be initiated when players drop from a dungeon/adventure group. So there's a Group Finder in the game.
There is a Group Finder.
And it will now sort of auto find group for people who've lost a player in the middle of a dungeon.
Or no have friends.
And
I forgot how to friend.
Yes. Also, parties formed outside of instances are now remembered and stored if a player solo queues through the Group Finder. So
yeah, you get to keep your party. If you go into another group to go and do a dungeon, you come out and you're still in that friendship circle of love. Which
is actually quite handy if you think about it.
But you can still talk to them as well, I think.
Yeah.
It says, depending on which slash thing you use, I think it's /P for talking to your actual party and /I for talking to the instanced party.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be able to keep in contact with your sad friends who didn't want to do dungeon with you. What's all that about?
Quite. So something that's caught my attention further down the list is this thing called the Rivals list. And this actually seems pretty awesome. You can add rivals from the other faction, I think it is, isn't it? Yeah.
No, you can do it from both.
Can it be your faction as well, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's...
You can just add rivals.
And it'll track them, and you can, send them a message and things like that.
Send them fish oil.
Yeah, that's a really cool idea. So I really like that. And another thing that's socially kind of good is suggested friends. So like as you interact with people in the game, whether it's through doing dungeons or grouping or anything like that, it'll kind of suggest that you friend the person in a way, as a way of kind of tying together, forming friendships and, building a community. I think that's a really good...
It's kind of like in Steam or in League of Legends, where you can look at your last few played games and then find the people you played it with, and if you had fun with them and you didn't have chance to sort of...
It's a little thing, but I think it's quite an important thing, because the community aspect in WoW, especially back in old WoW, was a big part of it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And so it's good to see that they're putting the effort in to actually help foster that in WildStar, and because that kind of went a bit off the sidelines in WoW, didn't it, once they started putting in all the easy grouping and stuff.
The thing that interested me about the patch notes that caught my eye in them was the settlers' resources. Now, I always wondered how they would manage the fact that settlers have to build stuff to make like villages or quest hubs or vehicles, and it seems like when you kill enemies just in general, one of the drops from the loot pinata thing is resources for settlers to build stuff with.
Oh right, so you literally take shit from people to use for your class? Yeah.
Well, for settlers anyway. I don't know what the other thing is. This is just something that I've been wondering how they're going to get these resources and where they're going to come from, and now I know.
Oh, awesome. But that's a good idea, isn't it? You literally just steal the shit.
Well, yes. Build little shit houses.
Yes, sorry, you steal the stuff. Unnecessary cursing. I apologise, viewers.
Engage.
So yeah, another final few things that we've found in the patch notes that were interesting were a couple of things about housing. So we know that there's player housing in WildStar, and I think that's a really cool idea. It's something that I don't think's ever quite been done properly in MMO before, so good to see it in WildStar. And one of the things that popped up here was that you can have neighbours. Neighbours are now available. You add them as neighbours, so there'll be a UI thing, I assume, and they literally can visit your house whenever they want, because you can flag them to do that. And you can upgrade neighbours to roommates, and they'll have permission to basically just go to your house and decorate inside, which is a cool idea. Or possibly not a cool idea.
Many people won't be using that feature.
Because, trolling.
Yeah, because, pink unicorn rooms.
Yeah,
etc.
exactly. Well, obviously that's going to be a feature, because why would you have that functionality if you weren't going to give people the option to troll?
Well, completely.
Yeah. And one final thing that I thought was pretty awesome it's a small thing to do with raid frames, and it just says that you'll basically be able to have tear off frames from the raid frames to put specific people into, so that you can track them and have extra target functionality for individual people. It's a little thing, but I think it's very awesome.
Yes, anything that supports raiding and the frames and such, that's actually just built in.
Yeah, not having to like download an add-on to be able to see
anything.
Properly. Yeah, because let's be honest, the raid frames in WoW were shit.
Well, yeah, definitely. Default ones were terrible.
They were terrible. I don't know. Did they actually improve that? I think they actually did later on.
I think they did, yeah.
Update it.
I mean, when you first did it, it was literally.
Oh, it was like
just
drag
your
out
whole screen.
It was like you pull out the health bars and.
Oh yeah.
Drag them all over the screen, and you couldn't really see what was going on. So
yeah.
I'm sure WildStars will be much better.
Agreed.
Yeah.
We'll see anyway.
We're not dissing the current WoW raid frames, because quite honestly, we don't know what they're like. We're just saying.
No, and they actually did get a lot better.
Yeah.
Even in like was it Cataclysm?
Yeah.
Or was it before that even?
Maybe before, I don't know. Lich Bane thing.
Lich Bane. Lich. Wrath of the Lich Bane.
Yes. Anyway, so that was
Revenge
just a quick.
Of the Cataclysm King.
That was just a quick roundup of the patch notes that we've seen, and imagine that we're playing beta, because we're not playing beta. But Lasai, we will hopefully get beta access one day. So yeah, we'll put a link in the description to the full patch notes, because there's lots more besides what we've recounted here. Yeah. So if you're interested, go and check those out. And thanks again for watching this video. Stay tuned for more WildStar updates here on the Fluffy channel. And as always, we will see you again in the future.
Of stuff.